You were not born to drift. You were not born to stumble through this life, numb to your own potential, hypnotized by comfort, silenced by fear, and distracted by noise. You were born with purpose in your bones. You were created for movement, for vision, for fire, not just to exist, but to expand. And until you decide to anchor your life to something greater than distraction, greater than your excuses, greater than what the world expects of you, you will suffer. Quietly, daily, and worst of all, you'll begin to forget who you truly are. Purpose is not a luxury. It is not a poetic word we save for dreamers or philosophers. It is survival. A man without purpose is like a ship without a compass. Impressive in appearance, full of potential, but ultimately lost at sea, at the mercy of every wave, every wind, every whim of the world. Purpose is the difference between waking up with dread and rising with fire, between quitting at discomfort and pushing because the mission demands it, between mediocrity and magnificence. Every man or woman who changed the course of history, Lincoln, Mandela, Edison, Ford, Jobs, Disney, Hill, they did not wake up seeking applause. They woke up anchored in a vision so powerful, so real, so urgent, they couldn't sleep. The fire inside was louder than the noise outside. That is purpose. Purpose doesn't whisper. It roars. And when you find it, when you truly lock in, your entire life shifts. Suddenly, distractions become laughable. Fear becomes fuel. Pain becomes data. Failure? A lesson. Time? Sacred. People see you as intense, obsessed, maybe even strange. Let them talk. Purpose makes you different. It makes you dangerous. It makes you disciplined. But here's the truth most people never face. You don't find your purpose, you build it. Purpose is constructed, brick by brick, through clarity, belief, vision, and action. You don't need a roadmap. You need resolve. You don't need more motivation. You need a mission. And once you declare it, once you decide that your life will stand for something, everything changes. Look around. Most people are not living. They're simply reacting. Reacting to bills, to opinions, to problems. They're like leaves in the wind, tossed by whatever the day brings. But those who live with purpose, they're the wind. They shape the world. They bend reality to fit their vision. They wake up already at war, with doubt, laziness, weakness, and they win because their purpose is non-negotiable. So ask yourself, what is your non-negotiable? What are you building that's bigger than your comfort? Bigger than your ego? Bigger than the opinions of others? Because purpose requires sacrifice. You don't get both ease and impact. You don't get to grow and stay comfortable. You don't get to be legendary and lazy. You choose every day. And if you don't choose purpose, you will drift into regret. Understand this. Purpose gives pain a reason. Without purpose, pain feels cruel. With it, pain feels crafted. Ask any athlete, any leader, any titan of their field. They didn't succeed because they avoided pain. They succeeded because their purpose was worth it. Your life is not meant to be a series of random events. It is meant to be a deliberate march towards something greater than yourself. And if you don't know what that is yet, good. That's the beginning. But don't stay in limbo. Get still. Get real. Get honest. What wakes your soul up? What injustice makes your blood boil? What dream have you buried so deep you forgot it was ever yours? Dig it up, dust it off, and decide today that your life will not be lived by default, but by design. Because without purpose, even victory feels empty. But with purpose, even failure feels sacred. Most people are addicted to potential. They talk about what they could do. They worship ideas they never act on. They fantasize about impact while living in hesitation. But purpose doesn't care about potential. It demands performance. You say you want to change your life? Then prove it. Not with words, not with dreams, but with relentless discipline, with early mornings, with late nights, with sacrifices nobody sees and nobody claps for. Because when your life is driven by purpose, you don't need applause. You don't need permission. You don't wait for the stars to align. You become the force that aligns them. You create the momentum one hard decision at a time. Purpose is not a feeling. It's a vow. A vow that you will not waste your existence waiting to be ready. A vow that the gifts inside you will not die inside you. A vow that you will become the person your future demands. Because here's the brutal truth. If you don't know what you're living for, you'll fall for anything. You'll chase money without meaning. You'll chase status without soul. You'll chase comfort without courage. And even if you succeed, you'll feel empty. Success without purpose is failure in disguise. You can wear the suit, drive the car, build a brand. But if your soul is starving, none of it matters. You were not created to imitate. You were born to ignite. You are not here to blend in. You are here to build something eternal. And the world is starving for people with conviction. Not more influencers, not more entertainers. More builders of legacy. More champions of principle. More unshakable warriors who are not driven by likes, but by vision. Let them laugh at your obsession. Let them mock your intensity. Let them call you too much. Purpose always looks like madness to people who are asleep. But the day will come when they look back and realize you weren't crazy, you were called. And you answered. You didn't wait for the right moment. You became the right moment. You didn't chase validation. You chased the vision. You took the pain, the setbacks, the isolation, and turned them into fuel. You didn't just survive, you evolved. Because the mission was bigger than your mood. You chose to build when others chose to break. You chose to rise when others sat back. You chose to believe when others mocked. And now the world will remember you not for what you had, but for what you stood for. This is the power of purpose. It takes your pain and turns it into a platform. It takes your struggle and turns it into strength. It takes your life and gives it meaning beyond yourself. Because purpose is never just about you. It's about everyone you'll touch because you refuse to quit. It's about every soul who will rise because you dared to go first. And when it's all said and done, they won't ask how much you made. They'll ask how many lives you changed. So decide right now, will you keep drifting? Or will you rise with purpose? Will you settle for survival? Or will you build a legacy? Because time is not waiting. Your purpose is not a maybe. It's a mandate. Wake up, lock in, and lead your life. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, the clock is ticking. The days you waste are not coming back. And one day, far from now, you will look back at this exact moment and ask yourself a question that either haunts or honors you. Did I rise or did I run? You won't remember the excuses. You won't remember the fear. You'll remember whether you answer the call or let it ring until it faded into regret. Because your purpose is calling right now. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're scared. It doesn't care if you've failed before. It cares if you stand up anyway. The most powerful people on earth are not those who never fell. They're the ones who fell 1,000 times and kept rising because the mission demanded it. That's purpose. It gives you spine when the world gives you storms. It makes you unstoppable, not because you never struggle, but because you never stay down. And the truth is, you don't need more time. You need more clarity. You don't need more motivation. You need a decision to stop playing small, to stop negotiating with weakness, to stop building someone else's dream while abandoning your own. Because this life is not a rehearsal. This is it, right here, right now. Every second you delay, someone else steps into the arena you were born to dominate. Every time you hold back, the world loses a piece of the fire it was meant to feel through you. And you were never meant to dim your flame. You were meant to light the sky. So step forward. Step boldly. Step with intention. Not with fear, but with fire. Not with hope, but with certainty. Not waiting for a sign, but realizing you are the sign. This is your time. This is your chapter. This is your calling. Live with purpose. Move with power. Die with nothing left undone. Because that's the only way to live without regret. And that is how you become unforgettable. You're not tired. You are uninspired. And that difference is the death or the rebirth of your future. The moment purpose enters the mind, fatigue loses its voice. Suddenly, every setback becomes a strategy. Every no becomes a redirection. Every failure becomes feedback. You stop asking, why me? And start declaring, try me. Because warriors of purpose do not fear the path. They become the path. They don't run from adversity. They walk into it with a grin, knowing pressure creates diamonds, and purpose creates unbreakable ones. And in this world of temporary wins and borrowed dreams, purpose is the only currency that never depreciates. It never runs out. It never gets outdated. It doesn't need trends. It doesn't need algorithms. It just needs you, fully committed, fully engaged, fully awake. You must understand, the enemy is not out there. The enemy is the voice inside that whispers, "Take it easy. You deserve a break. You've done enough today." That voice doesn't want peace. It wants permission to stay small. But purpose doesn't speak in comfort. Purpose speaks in fire, in sweat, in sacrifice, in standards. It pulls you higher when every part of your body screams lower. It teaches you how to walk through storms with your head up, your heart guarded, and your mind made of steel. Because when you carry purpose, you no longer beg for strength. You become the strength. And now I ask you, when did you start playing safe? When did you begin choosing comfort over calling? When did your dreams start waiting for someone else's approval? You weren't always this way. You used to move with fire. You used to believe anything was possible. You used to look in the mirror and see a future legend. But somewhere along the line, you settled. You believed the lies. That you weren't ready. That you weren't smart enough. That someone else had more talent, more time, more luck. But talent is nothing without hunger. Luck is nothing without preparation. And time? Time bows to those who own every second. You want the life most people only dream of? Then do what most people want. Sacrifice what they want. Discipline what they want. Endure what they fear. And above all, believe at a level they can't even comprehend. The truth is this. The version of you you admire is already inside you. It's not in the future. It's not someday. It's now. But it's trapped behind layers of fear, doubt, laziness, distraction, comfort, and excuses. You don't need to find yourself. You need to fight for yourself. You need to tear down every lie that ever told you you can't. You need to burn the mask and unleash the man, the woman, the warrior who knows they were born to leave a mark that death itself cannot erase. And once you see this, once you taste what it feels like to live on fire for something, you'll never go back to ordinary again. Ordinary will repulse you. Comfort will bore you. Mediocrity will feel like poison. Because your soul was never wired for average. It was designed for impact, designed for legacy, designed to inspire generations who will one day speak your name not because of what you owned, but because of what you stood for. Let this be the day you draw the line. No more drifting. No more doubting. No more waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create with relentless faith and ruthless focus. Your destiny is not waiting on the world. It's waiting on your decision. So decide now, to silence the noise, to kill the excuses, to outwork the old you, to lock into your purpose like your life depends on it, because it does. And if the road gets hard, good. That's how you know it's yours. Because no one stumbles into greatness. It is earned one battle at a time. And if you ever forget why you started, look in the mirror and remember, you are the one your bloodline prayed for. You are the first in your family to see this vision. You are the turning point in your generation. So act like it. Lead with it. Live with it. And let the fire of your purpose become the torch that lights the way for everyone watching. You must understand something. When you choose purpose, you declare war. War against weakness. War against average. War against the part of you that's comfortable being mediocre. Because purpose doesn't just wake you up early. It keeps you awake at night. It doesn't ask if you feel like showing up. It demands that you do. It holds you accountable to your highest self, not your current mood. And in a world chasing fame, chasing trends, chasing likes, attention, applause, you must choose legacy. Because likes fade. Followers forget. Fame dies. But legacy? Legacy outlives you. Your children's children will either inherit your excuses or your example. So ask yourself, what are you really building? A brand or a bloodline? A moment or a movement? When you're gone, will they remember your car? Or your character? Will they speak of your status? Or your standards? Purpose is about what you're willing to endure so others don't have to. It's about choosing impact over indulgence, meaning over momentary pleasure, Principle over popularity. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more leaders with depth, with grit, with unwavering standards that don't bend when life gets hard. Because let me tell you something, it will get hard. People will doubt you. Life will test you. Your progress will be slow. Your reward will feel far away. But this is the difference between the driven and the drifting. The drifting need motivation. The driven need a mission. They don't need someone to push them. They are pulled by something within. Something ancient, sacred, and undeniable. The quiet fire that says, I was not made for comfort. I was made for contribution. I was not born to fit in. I was born to break cycles. I was not meant to exist in the background. I was meant to move nations with my voice, my work, my walk. This is what separates those who wish from those who win. They refuse to die full of ideas, dreams, and gifts. They choose to die empty, used up, poured out, legacy built. And now it's your turn. You've listened long enough. You've scrolled long enough. You've watched others build their dream while yours waited in silence. Your dream doesn't need another plan. It needs a warrior, a builder, a finisher, because the gap between the life you have and the life you want is not luck. It's clarity, discipline, and conviction. The world doesn't care about your potential. It only responds to your results. So stop talking. Stop explaining. Stop overthinking. You don't need 10 steps. You need one decision. That today is the day you stop existing and start commanding your future. You've already survived things that should have broken you. You've already outlived the doubt of people who said you'd never rise. You've already proven you're not done. Now it's time to lead like it, because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your purpose. No one is going to drag you to greatness. This path is walked by those who are done negotiating with their calling. And I know you feel it, that pull deep in your bones. That voice saying, you were meant for more. That ache for excellence. It's not a fantasy. It's your future begging you to finally show up for it. So what now? Will you go another year watching others take what you were born for? Will you keep silencing your potential for the sake of peace with people who don't even believe in themselves? Or will you rise? Because the mirror doesn't lie. And deep down, you know who you are. You're not a follower. You're not weak. You're not random. You're not average. You are chosen. You are marked. You are called. And it's time to live like it. No more hiding. No more shrinking. No more waiting. Your purpose is not tomorrow. It is right now. And every second you hesitate, you delay the transformation you were born to unleash. So get up. Get focused. Get obsessed. The world is waiting for your voice, your vision, your volume. Build the life that makes people say, that's what purpose looks like. There comes a point in every life where you must choose to live by design or by default, to rise with purpose or exist in regret, to become legend or remain a memory no one remembers. And that moment is now, because the truth is, most people will never choose purpose. They'll choose comfort. They'll choose distraction. They'll choose the path that asks the least of them. And then they'll wonder why life gave them so little in return. But not you. You're still listening because deep inside you is a fire that refuses to die. A voice that won't stay quiet. A hunger that no amount of success can satisfy. Because it's not about what you get. It's about who you become. The money is a byproduct. The followers are a shadow. The recognition is a side effect. The real win is waking up every day knowing you are walking in full alignment with why you were born, that your life has meaning, that your pain has been redeemed, that your gifts are serving, that your name now carries weight. Because purpose doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your posture. It changes your presence. It changes how you speak, how you walk, how you breathe. It makes you magnetic. People feel you before they even hear you. Because when you walk in purpose, you radiate something money can't buy, and fake success can't imitate. Power, depth, certainty, realness. You don't chase approval. You walk in authority. You don't wait for opportunities. You build them. You don't follow trends. You start movements. That's what happens when you wake up to who you really are. Not a follower, not a copy, not a victim, but a visionary with fire in their lungs and a mission in their spirit. And when the world sees that version of you, they won't know what hit them, Because the world is used to doubt. The world is used to excuses. The world is used to halfway effort. But when a soul catches fire with purpose, when a human being decides to live fully lit, fully focused, fully free, everything changes. So here's the final truth. Purpose is not found. Purpose is forged. Forged in silence. Forged in isolation. Forged in the days no one claps, no one sees, no one understands. Forged in the moments you feel like quitting, but don't. You rise. You dig. You bleed for something bigger than yourself. Because you know, this life isn't just about making it. It's about becoming undeniable. So burn the backup plan. Delete the escape hatch. Let go of the version of you that settles, shrinks, and surrenders. And build the version that leads, dominates, and inspires. Because destiny doesn't happen by accident. Destiny is a choice. And this is your moment to choose. To take the pain and turn it into power. To take the fear and turn it into focus. To take the life you were handed and build the one you were born for. No more waiting. No more apologizing. No more asking for permission to be powerful. You are the storm. You are the shift. You're the signal that average ends here. So go, build, lead, live. Because this is the power of purpose. And it's yours now. Take it.